Bringing tech to toasters. Welcome back to Techstination. I'm Fred Fishkin. With us from Revolution Cooking is CEO Tom Klaff. Hi, Tom.
Hi, Fred.
Great to meet you. You and the team there have brought some amazing new innovation to toasters. Who would have imagined? But before we talk about product, I want to learn more about the background and how this came about.
Fred, when I started this, I knew nothing about toasters or kitchen appliances. I am an entrepreneur, been one since I got out of college, mostly in software. And just in 2016, I was introduced to a fellow entrepreneur in the DC area. I just exited my last business and looking for something different and fun to do, and met Bruce, who's my partner, and just liked him a lot. Very passionate, very successful entrepreneur, and he was talking to me about his 45-year frustration with toast. Back when he started his company, he used to bring in bagels every morning or every Monday morning for his team, and he noticed as they were growing, lines would form out of the kitchen waiting for the toaster to toast their bagels, and he just saw this as a lack of productivity, but he wanted to keep the tradition. So he was just banging his head around, why does it take so long to toast bread, and lack of productivity. And as his company grew, he bought more toasters, popped more circuits, more lines formed, longer lines, and he just became just interested in solving the problem. So when I connected with him 10 years ago, he had already been years deep in working on this with an MIT scientist to figure out how to accelerate toast.
That's pretty amazing. So you've created more or less a computer that toasts. At least that's what it looks like. So
Well,
tell us
yeah.
about
So
it.
yeah, we're not. Yes, but there's a story behind that too. So to continue along, I was intrigued by what Bruce is trying to do. I didn't know anything about toasters, but I just liked him. I just for me, it's about the people you work with. So I took a trip out to the International Houseware Show in Chicago right afterwards on my own dime, just to kind of walk around the show and learn more about the problem. So I looked into every toaster and oven and microwave oven, wall oven. I just talked to as many people as I could, and noticed that whether it was a $25 toaster or $6,000 wall oven, the heating element technology was the same. It was just this nichrome wire element that was in everything. It was the standard. So I went back to my hotel room that night, I remember, and just Googled up, like, just tried did some research on the element and realized that this was invented in 1890, and it's still state of the art in the market. And it's the reason why toast takes 4 minutes to toast, and it's reason why you have to preheat your oven 20 minutes. And it's the reason if you get a combination microwave where they tell you that you can heat and crisp, that it really doesn't keep pace with the microwave cycle because it's very thick metal. And so I called Bruce. I said, "Look, I think I understand the problem. I don't know the solution yet, but if we're going to do this, I'll certainly get you your fast toaster. But this is more of a platform company that I want to build with you." And we shook hands on it. So that's how we got started.
And the result that I'm looking at now is the R180 Connect Plus Smart Toaster.
That's our latest design. So what we did, we need the technology that Bruce was working on. In theory, could work, but from commercialization, it was going to be very difficult. So I connected with an engineer in the Boston area who really understood efficient heat transfer technology, was in the space of appliances, and together we worked on this concept of first, let's build the heating system, and we'll use toasters as our test case. I took a trip to Sweden, met with metallurgists there to understand what we could do differently, from a metallic alloy standpoint. So we landed on a different alloy than nichrome. And then we developed a geometrical concept around the heating element, but making it thin and not thick. Like nichrome wire and cow rods are really thick metal, which really is the reason why it takes a lot of energy to heat up the metal, then heats up the air. So we knew we couldn't do that. So we had to figure out a whole different way of doing that. And when you have something thin that gets hot, you have to manage its thermal expansion so that it doesn't liquefy and you have even heat. So we had to build a structure around it. And once we got that done, we popped it into a toaster chassis to see if it would toast fast, just to see. And lo and behold, we could toast bread to a level 4, a medium, in about a minute, with the competition really being around 3 to 4 minutes.
Big difference in time. So you're calling this technology, you have a name for it, right? For
Yeah.
heating it up. Instaglow, is it?
Instaglow, because it glows quickly. We hit a luminescence. It hits a certain level of light, but uh, we have, because of the alloy we've identified and the geometry we've constructed, the element gets 40 to 50% hotter. And then from an efficiency standpoint, it's able to cast heat directly to the bread versus heating up the air around it. So, that's a really important concept because we can manage, whatever power comes out of the wall, in this case, 120 volts, and convert it into radiant heat and transfer that to the food very efficiently. And that's really the secret. So when we decided to make a toaster and see if we can commercialize the technology, that's when we got into, okay, well, it's got to look different. The toaster, I mean, there are so many brands out there. Again, this was an R&D experiment. We wanted to see how we can commercialize the heating system. So I whipped out my cell phone, and I said, Phil, let's build this with no knobs, no levers. Let's create an experience for aspirational buyers and make it look different. Let's design it in a sleek way, because there are only 4 or maybe 3 appliances that stay on the kitchen counter, and you have to earn your right. And we're competing against a coffee maker, a blender, you got to, and a microwave oven or a toaster oven. And, how are you going to compete? Now air fryers are popular. So we needed to create a compelling story for the consumer to keep that toaster top of mind. And so we designed it in a very sleek way and took it to Williams Sonoma just to see what they would think. And they thought it was cool and were interested in becoming an exclusive retail partner for us once we were ready.
Time was when people bought toaster covers to cover up the toaster on the counter. With this, you should certainly wouldn't want to. So describe it for us. We're looking at images as well, but
Right.
this has a screen, much like a big mobile device, I suppose.
Yep.
Tell us about it.
Well, when we launched, it didn't have all the bells and whistles we have today. We just wanted to, to really create an experience for the consumer where you can select. We had at that time just 5 bread types. You had, a slice of white bread, you had a bagel, you had English muffin, you had a pastry. Um, I think it was yeah. And then there was I think it was in wheat bread, I think, or a bagel. Then we said that. But the idea was you could select the bread item, and there are 7 different shades that you could select. So you selected the shade on the screen. Once you selected the piece of the item you wanted to toast, you could select the shade, and it would display what it would look like when it came out of your toaster. So we thought that was a high bar. How do we really need to create a high bar for the consumer so that they know consistently that that product's going to come out looking like that. And we created an automatic up and down. There's no lever, a happy chime when it comes up, a countdown clock. We've since expanded. We've kind of sunsetted the R180, which was our first one. Now we're the R180 Connect Plus, which is now Wi-Fi connected, because we realized there are algorithms we would need to update if we had any more bread items we wanted to come in. So now I think there are 36 or so bread items, including gluten-free. So we built algorithms around all of those bread items. We kept the shade, the toast color 1 through 7. We added an algorithm for the toasty press, which is that grilled cheese maker that you can make in your toaster with our press. And then we connected it, again through Wi-Fi, so that you could have more things that would compel you to keep the toaster on the counter, like bringing the weather in, an accurate clock, and then a digital picture frame. So when it's not being used, you can have very easy through a web app load pictures on the toaster and have it as a picture frame.
That's just amazing. And then, of course, ease of use is a factor here because you got a really high-tech toaster here, but you needed to make it really simple for people to use.
Right. Well, it starts with better heat. Our tagline really is better heat makes a better appliance, which makes better food. And that's really the unique proposition that we have is really just addressing performance through better heat. And it starts with that. If it doesn't toast well or it doesn't cook well, then you don't have anything to sell. So let's deliver on performance. And then the experience rolls from there. It's got to look great. It's got to be easy to use and operate. It's got to be fun and aspirational, and enjoyable.
So tell us about availability and pricing. This is a rather high-end purchase for a toaster, right?
Yeah, we're available on Amazon through our own site. We sell through Williams Sonoma and Crate and Barrel and Kohl's and other retailers, Macy's online. The Connect Plus is $400. The Toasty Press that accompanies it is $79, $80. And it works in any toaster. It happens to work better in ours because we've dialed in the algorithm for it, but it can work in any toaster. And these are the Toasty Press that we have is a utility patent. I mean, it's all about efficient conductive heat being directed to whatever you put in there that fits, like a grilled cheese sandwich or an empanada. You can do a lot of things with it. Our Instagram reel at revcook.com has just so many videos of consumers who've done things with the Toasty Press that are innovative, creating handhelds in our toasters, which are really, really, really cool to watch.
Really interesting. And of course, people may think, well, that's a lot of money for a toaster, but I think you've already explained from the technology that's in it why. But I'm sure you get that response from time to time.
Yeah, I think people are like, well, yes. I mean, look, 97% of all toasters in the market are below $100. So let's be honest. And the average toaster is 27 bucks. So, but we're doing not unlike what Vitamix did with blenders, or Keurig did with coffee machines, or Dyson did with vacuum cleaners. It's really about designing an experience that is worth the price, and it's really about delivering that experience with the aspirational value of having one. I think that there's a book I read that talks about 113 million markets of one. I mean, we don't need to sell this product to everybody in the world. We just need to sell it to people who are aspirational, who love being the first, who love the origin story, who love the experience, who root for the underdog, who really want to be a part of something. It's a movement. This is really why we call ourselves Revolution. We believe that we are liberating consumers from the status quo of commodity products. And for the longest period of time, they've been given products that, every factory makes for every brand. We decided that we wanted to be different. We wanted to, change the rules of the game, deliver a much better experience. And we think it's worthy of the price. And we have consumers who look at this, well, it's expensive, but it's worth every penny. And these are the kinds of customers we love, because we want to make sure that they're happy, they're joyful, and it's a remarkable product that they'll tell their friends.
And you're not going to be throwing away burned toast. This is perfect every time.
Totally.
So what is next for you? You've kind of hinted that this isn't the whole story.
Yeah, the toaster was really an R&D project for us that went well. We wanted to figure out how to commercialize the instant glow heating system into a product. The toaster category, not really a big category by volume, even though there's about 80% market penetration in households. As I indicated, it's a very commoditized, low-priced product as a category, not huge. But as I alluded to in our earlier part of the discussion, the three problems that we're solving, one was accelerating toasting. Um, and that also transcends into the commercial market. If you're ever in a breakfast buffet in a hotel and you see a conveyor toaster, you'll see people lining behind it, waiting with their plate of eggs. Same problem. The toast doesn't come out the way they want it. They put it back through again and then again. Sometimes the bread gets stuck. So we are now entering in the commercial market with a commercial conveyor toaster beginning, in this month of July, serving, breakfast buffets, cafeterias, university food service operations, really where there's high throughput, not just from, the guest experience at the buffet, but also back of the house, bagel chains where you need performance, you need durability, energy savings. All that is important because we are very, very efficient. So that's an area we're entering into now. And then on the heels of that, I mentioned, the existing technology where you have to preheat ovens and microwaves don't heat and crisp well. We're going to solve that problem, and we're launching a product in the fourth quarter of this year called the microwave oven that's going to combine the best qualities of a microwave air fryer, and an oven into a single system, and it'll be focused on the commercial food service market and also the residential market using our InstaGlow heating system.
You are in the midst of a revolution, aren't you?
We think so. We hope so.
And the site again is revcook, revcook.com. Tom Klaff, congratulations to you and the team for all of the innovation, and thank you for spending time with us.
Fred, my pleasure. It's great to speak with you.
The Haven 10,000 lantern is a smartly designed, beautiful solar light that you will love indoors or out. It is waterproof with up to 1,200 lumens of brightness. That's a lot of light. And the base becomes a flashlight at the push of a button. The power comes from a built-in lithium-ion battery recharged by the sun. The solar panel is built in, or USB-C. The battery can even recharge your phone. Did we mention how durable it is? How it folds down and can run for up to 120 hours on a charge? But the real power of the Haven Lantern comes from the people behind it and their mission to provide this quality lighting to those in the world who need it most, including in disaster emergencies. Your purchase helps to fund those efforts, and if you use the code Techstination20, you'll get it at a 20% discount. That's Techstination20 at havenlantern.com. Create your haven.